Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. For today's video, I just got an insane amount of Makeup Revolution. I have an entire face full of the brand, some new products by them that I've never tried before. So if you're interested in watching how this goes, definitely stay tuned. All right, so I am actually going to start I'm going to start with primer, but I did get the Conceal and Hydrate foundation, which I'm really excited about. So I decided to go with a hydration theme through the entire process. I did start with my Fourth Ray Matcha Face Milk. I really like how this makes my skin nice and prepped for anything that I'm putting on it moving forward. I really love starting my routine with that. I'm going to go in with the Hydrate, whoop, that like spilled out. All right, well that's kind of a messy product. Primer, and I am just going to place that. So it's really, it seems like it's probably a water-based product. Let me take a look. Yes, it is a water-based product. You're probably gonna hear my dogs upstairs. You will probably hear anything that they're doing, barking, running, so just ignore that. But it's a water-based product, so it's very liquidy. I'm used to more of a silicone-based primer, so it's a little bit more tacky, a little bit easier to work with. I wasn't expecting that to spill out so much, but it feels really nice on the skin. Does it have any hyaluronic acid in it? It does not. I did grab the hyaluronic acid setting mist, so I'm very interested to see that. So like I said, I'll probably be a little bit more dewy than I'm used to, but we'll see how it goes. Conceal and Hydrate foundation. I grabbed F1. I think I'm more along the lines of F2. However, they didn't have that in stock. So I'm just kind of going with it. We'll see. But I hate the lighting in those. See, that looks so light, but you know what? My F3 and F4 that I've tried seem really dark, especially now that it's winter time. Not that my skin ever changes. I always laugh when I hear people say that there is like a winter shade and a summer shade. That's not my life. But I'm going in with a Morphe Y7. I already know that I really like the Makeup Revolution foundations. This is just a different formula and it already goes on the skin very, very differently. The other foundation that I'm used to, which is the Conceal and Define, it has a doe foot applicator, which I'm not a big fan of for foundation, just for hygienic reasons, but this foundation goes on really, really nice. You can tell it's a hydrating foundation. It definitely has more of a dewy finish, which is something I'm looking into trying. I usually like matte just because I get really oily right here, but we'll see. So I just added an additional pump just to that to amp up the coverage a little bit. But the coverage of the other foundation seems to be a lot heavier than this. This is very light on the skin, but I wish I had a little bit more coverage just because of my rosacea and acne. I'm gonna go in with the newest Conceal and Define concealer. Now this is supposed to be wearable for 16 hours, so I'll definitely put it to test. It's like 8 o'clock at night right now. However, there you go. Oh, she's got a squeaky toy. Does anybody else hate squeaky toys? I hate them, but they love them. It's kind of fun to listen to them run around upstairs. I did try and wait till they were quiet, but naturally when I need them to be quiet, they're not going to be. Next up on the list, I'm going in with the Revolution. It's just a translucent setting powder. I did open it already. It was kind of messy to open. Lots of powder went everywhere. However, what are you gonna do is lose powder. I'm gonna go in with my Farrah brush. Oh geez, that is a messy powder. Okay. Well, good thing I am home for the night. This is why I always try. I like to try new products at night because if I get my clothes all messy or what have you, it's not a big deal and I just go to bed. Okay, so this powder again is translucent. It did advertise as not having any flashback, which is definitely something I'm interested in. I don't like to powder too much. My face like sucks up the powder almost and it looks really cakey. That's why I generally don't use a ton of powder powder, I kind of, and I also really like to see my skin underneath. I don't love a very, very, very full coverage moment. I'm more of a medium coverage, get the red out of the way, let's see my skin underneath, and this really, really does that for me. So this is the bronzer. I was a little worried. That's a decent color. It's a little cool toned for me, so that might look a little gray. We're gonna work with it. They don't really have names. It's just bronzer and highlighter. So I have a bronzer and highlighter in here and a blush and a highlighter in the other one. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going in with a BH Cosmetics 3 brush. It grabs a lot of product, not a ton of kickback in the pan, which is a-okay in my book. So let's see how they layer. Ooh, that's actually a nice shade. It is removing some of my foundation, which I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of that, but it's a nice shade. So I wonder, next time I use it, I'm wondering if I put, oh, geez Louise, you see that patch? I'm wondering if I put a layer of setting spray. Sometimes if I like the shade of a bronzer and I really like how it wears throughout the day, I will try and put a little bit of setting spray on top of my powder, let it sit, let it dry, let it marry into my skin a little bit, and then sometimes it works, and then when I'm rubbing the bronzer in, it doesn't pick up as much product. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you can, like, it is almost removing that product right where I laid it down. And there is definitely, I thought it was more cool tone in the pan. On the skin, it's definitely more warm tone. There's like a reddish undertone to it. So I don't think this is gonna be my favorite bronzer ever. This might be in my not favorite products of 2020. Alrighty, so now I have the, so that was, what was that? Oh, that's just Bronze and Glow, and this was Fondue. That's this shade. These are good for 12 months. This is a really, okay, I don't know what I want to do. So this blush is not typically a shade that I go for, and it has a shimmer aspect to it, which I don't know how I feel about that. I also picked up this blush as well. This one is in Rose Kiss, but we're gonna keep in with the chocolate theme. So I'm gonna grab this on my Eco Tools full blush brush. I don't like shimmer blushes very often because, so I feel like I'm setting this up for failure, although this one's really nice. Sometimes if it's nice like this one, I can skip my highlight, especially for an everyday moment. Although I don't know that any blush would look nice on my skin right now. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. I don't know that much would look nice on my skin at the moment because I picked up so much foundation putting the bronzer on. So I think I'm setting anything up for failure at this point. Let's swatch. It's a really, really, really creamy highlighter. They're really creamy. So let's swatch this highlighter from the blush. Yeah, no, that's really patchy. And then let me try the highlighter from the bronzer, if I can get it open. There you go. This one's definitely more my speed highlighter wise. It's more of a champagne. Oh, that one swatched so much better. That's interesting. I almost want them to put a palette of this this highlighter and this blush together, and that would be perfect for me. That's so pretty. All right. I'm going to spray the face a little bit with the Hyaluronic Hydrating and Plumping Makeup Fixing Spray. There's a lot of hydration going on. It kind of smells like I got a whiff of I got like a whiff of a preschool room. Like it's very, like the paint. The paint is what I'm smelling. I like had to close my eyes and envision it. That is definitely what I'm smelling. My face looks very, very dewy. It's not a look I usually go for, so I feel like I'm gonna walk upstairs and I'm gonna get I can already kind of tell the reaction I'm gonna get. But for a dewy setting spray, this is what you're looking for. I feel very, very hydrated. So I just did my brows off of camera. And the more that I'm letting this sit on my face, the less I like it at all, to be frank. I feel like the foundation's laying really, let me grab my mirror. The foundation's laying really nicely on my skin. Like I'm really enjoying that because my nose looks nice. And I'll be honest, I have a lot of trouble keeping foundation on my nose, and this is sticking really well. So I don't know if it's a combination of the hydrating primer and the foundation, because I do have dry patches on my nose. I also have dry patches on my eyes. I have eczema breakouts right now, and it's sticking like a dream. I'm not living for this. I'm good. I'll pass. So these, again, I think I want to try the highlighter, the champagne highlighter on its own. I might take that upstairs to my bathroom and I might wear it tomorrow. But I'm gonna pass on these as a whole. These are $8 a piece, which for a drugstore product or an affordable product isn't bad. I think there was maybe 3 products in this entire haul that I spent more than $10 on. But I don't know that I would spend the $8 on these 2 products. So this is a peanut butter cup palette. I had to get it. It's peanut butter cups. I love peanut butter cups. I haven't even looked at it yet. Ooh, that's really nice. Not what I was expecting, but really nice. Super nice. Again, they don't have shade. Oh, they do have shade names. They weren't on the back. I thought they were going to be on the back. Really nice. This caramel shade needs to be on my eyelid like now. It's a mix of matte and shimmer. I'm okay with that. I don't like a whole matte palette, but I also don't like a whole shimmer palette. So I'm going to just get started. I think I'm going to grab this shell color right here. I'm going to go in with my defined crease brush from Eco Tools. I love that this has a nice mirror. You can see how my brush is there. It's a nice big mirror. I am going to apply these shadows on my eye with my dry patch to see how they handle that textured skin. If it gets patchy right here, I'm not going to be mad at the shadow. Again, I do have that eczema patch, but I want to see how it blends over it. And then I'll know for sure when I do the other eye off camera. I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This is a BH Cosmetics 7, and I'm going to go in with this Milk Chocolate. It's a brown, almost gray brown, so very cool toned, just matte shade. And I'm going to throw that right here on the outer edge and blend. So there is not a lot of pigment with these shadows. I'll swatch a couple shades, but I haven't had much luck with this brand's shadows. I feel like they blend away and they disappear. That's the impression I got, because whenever I go to Ulta, I always get a free gift with Makeup Revolution, and it always seems to be a palette. So we'll see. Yeah, there's a huge dry patch. It's very patchy. It's not, wow, this is my first like official review on this channel, and I'm not doing, it's not going very well, huh? So let me just throw this caramel shade. It's beautiful, this one right here. It's swatched pretty well. It's definitely a golden shimmer, which is what I was looking for. I'm always going to apply shimmers with a fingertip rather than a brush. It's how I do it every day. It's really how I'm gonna know how the shimmer performs against other products and other brands, price point, things like that. I have this thing where the heat of your skin melts the shadow before application. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I made it up, but we'll see. I'm sure I'm not original in that thought. I had to have gotten it somewhere. So I'm putting that Milk Chocolate shade with that BH Cosmetics brush and just melting that in and blending and blending and blending. I did somehow manage to make that work. Liner. I am not someone who kind of goes out of the box of what she likes for eyeliner, so that's going to be something that I try really hard this year. I do like the NYX liquid liners. That's usually my go-to affordable brand. Other than that, I just kind of use what comes in my BoxyCharm box, which I don't get anymore, or anything like that. So most recently I've used a Hank & Henry liquid liner. It goes on really well. And it looks really nice on the skin. It's really easy to apply, which is really important to me. This is double-sided, so you have the thicker side here, and then I assume, yes, a thinner side. So we're gonna go in with the thinner side. This is just a black liquid liner. It looks like it's a felt tip. It's not a brush tip. I prefer felt, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is it's definitely a felt tip. It's very tough. Oh boy. And there's really like no pigment. Like it's not picking it up. I'm gonna do what you're not supposed to do. If you have a felt tip liner and you're not seeing a ton of pigment when you're laying it down, store it with the tip down. So store it this way, then the ink will go to the top. I've heard so many stories. That looks horrible. I swear I'm good at eyeliner. Let me try the other side. Maybe it was stored on the other side. Let's try. I've heard so many stories of people throwing out felt tip liners after just a few uses because they get dried out and they don't work as much anymore. But if you store it upside down, definitely the way to go. I got it to work. Like it doesn't look bad. It's not defined. It's not dark. It's not that like snatched liner that I usually prefer. However, if you're looking for like an everyday, just smoky eye kind of situation, this might be for you. I am scared. I am very scared, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go in with the mascara. That's what this is called. It is black. I'm always gonna use black liner, black mascara at first when I try a brand because those are my go-to colors for mascara and liner. This is like distracting me. All right, let's just go for it. That's actually really nice. Okay, I really like this mascara a lot, actually. It kind of clumps them together a little bit, but I like that look. I feel like it makes my lashes look fuller. I have decent length. I can get them to curl pretty well, but getting them to look like almost false lashes, but not like in the middle, is definitely something I like. So this mascara is definitely a hit. All right, I'm gonna go do the other eye off camera. I have some lip products and I'll be right back. I definitely love the mascara. The more I played with it, the more I applied it, the more layers I put on. Really, really nice. I fought with the liner. We're fighting. We're not in a good place. I think we'll be okay. But what I did remember that I said I was gonna swatch some more shades. So we're gonna go ahead and go over those. So this is Nutty up here, Crunchy, Pieces, and Cinder. They swatched pretty well. Definitely the shimmers are definitely the way to go in this palette. And then up here we have Delish, Honey, Case, and Smooth. So they swatched okay. I definitely had much better blending on the eye without dry patches, something I figured would happen, but I wanted to see what would happen if I applied the shadow on the other eye. I'm gonna go ahead and start lips. We are going to, I only found a lipstick, so I'm going to use a ColourPop lip liner and a Morphe lip gloss, but we'll see what the lipstick looks like on its own. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in BFF, and I'm just going to apply that. We have the Revolution, it just says Makeup Revolution London, no specific type of lipstick. I love the top here. I think that is super cute. This is in the shade Chauffeur. It is a really nice, creamy, matte consistency. I don't feel as though this would dry my lips out, but I'd have to wear it all day to find out. And then we're going to top it with Flower Child, a gloss by Morphe. These are my favorite glosses of all time that I've tried so far. And they're really affordable. Super awesome. Like the lip. I like the lipstick. I like the texture. I like the consistency. I love a matte lipstick. I feel like if I want something to be a little more showy, I can throw a gloss on it, but I don't have to, and I can go to work or I can go about my day. I'm a little scared. I'm gonna spray this one more time. Yes, it smells like paint from a preschool. That's what it smells like. I'm like having flashbacks. Okay. Let's get into this. What I liked, what I didn't like. Again, these are my opinions. This is how I feel. Doesn't mean things are gonna work the same for you. Primer, didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was really, really nice on the skin. However, this may have started the whole a little too dewy for my liking process because everything I used was hydrating. So I'd be interested to try out different combinations, and I think I might do that in the coming days. But I like how it felt on the skin. It was interesting to see a water-based primer versus a silicone-based primer. They're gonna work a little bit different. I'm always gonna like the Makeup Revolution foundation and concealer. I feel like they have wonderful formulas. I feel like they work really, really well. The only thing I'll say is I do have significant creasing under my eyes, and I'm telling you, I started 35 minutes ago and I'm already getting creasing, which is a little upsetting. I have some serious fine lines under my eyes. I don't care about creasing that much. Sounds crazy, because if I can just wipe it away like that, we're good to go and I can go about my day. If you have lines under your eyes, something's gonna happen. It's gonna crease a little bit, and if people are telling you that something's not gonna crease, but you have these lines, that's just not life. That's not how that's gonna work. Powder, I had no problem with the powder. We'll see how the pictures go afterwards. But it felt nice on the skin. It gave me a really nice matte combination to the dewy foundation. I think the two together on their own would be a really nice win for an everyday look. I'm curious to see how this works with a matte situation or just without the bronzer and blush. I think that is where things went kind of downhill. So going with the bronzer, I'm not a fan of the bronzer. I don't think these are worth $8 just for one color and one pan out of the entire thing. The bronzer was a nice color, but it really lifted the product off my face. It really lifted the foundation, which I'm not interested in that kind of a product. However, I will be trying this highlight on its own, probably tomorrow, to see how it performs because it's a nice color. I didn't get to try this out. I will try it another day. The palette, I don't know that it's worth $15. Some of the shades are nice, some of them are okay. I feel like you could get something a little bit more for your money if you spent a little bit more and maybe went with a Juvia's Place palette or a Morphe palette or a BH Cosmetics, and you kind of went that direction with it. I feel like you'd get more out of your money. However, it wasn't a bad palette. I feel like it worked really nice. The colors are cool, the concept is neat, and the packaging is wonderful. So that was all right in my book. Liner, it's immediately going in the box that I have over here for products to say at the end of the year, I did not like and I don't ever want to use again. It's a one application deal, and it was, how much were you? $6. So it's not the liner I prefer. It's definitely more of a smokier look. I like a thin, dark line. That's just my preference. Mascara, definite win in my book. I'm taking it upstairs to my bathroom to use on a daily basis. I think it's wonderful. I don't typically wear mascara on the bottom lashes when I go to work because by the end of the day, I have darkness under my eyes and I'm not about that. So I definitely like how it curled my upper lashes. It gave me a little bit more volume, and I definitely think for $10, this is a wonderful product. And the lipstick was great too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. And I overall didn't hate it, but there was definitely products I didn't enjoy, which doesn't usually happen. Usually I find something that I like in any product. This is the first time I was kind of not a fan, almost willing to like return it bad. But you live and you learn. But thank you so much for getting to this point. If you enjoyed what you saw, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment below, and I will see you on the next one.